I want to talk about Ed Harris, and he's old too. Old badass. So
Oh,
Ed
yeah,
Harris,
badass.
he's a super badass. He just signed on for Wonder Man. And he's coming in. So this was like apparently Wonder Man was a villain at first, and he was going for the
Yeah.
Avengers, and then he switched gears and he became a hero and he joined the Avengers. And he has kind of the same kind of superpowers as most like, Marvel characters and superheroes, super strength, invincibility. He's like, he had a company apparently, and his family's company was going out of business, and then he ended up going and doing some experiments. He went to jail. I don't really know much about him, but I was reading a little bit about him. But Ed Harris come in to play this FBI agent, so which makes sense for me. He's great. I could see him being an FBI agent who's apparently eventually becomes a movie star too, which is an interesting twist on that. And he has a lot of stuff that deals with Iron Man too. Apparently he hates Iron Man because of all this, because of what happens with his family and the experiments. So my question is, so Sean, do you know Wonder Man? Have you heard of him before? Are you excited about this movie coming out? Or are you like, why are we doing Wonder Man?
I mean, you ask the Marvel guy if he's excited for more Marvel. Of course, I'm excited for it. I think I don't know personally a lot about the character. I think, quite frankly, he's a little bit boring. He's been paired with the Beast. He's been paired with a lot of other more interesting characters. But I think what's really interesting, especially what we saw with WandaVision, is that kind of that turning out of its head of the expected tropes of what is to be expected of these characters' backgrounds. I mean, Wonder Man is an actor, right? Like,
Yeah.
he's got this whole background of that and being the superpowered hero at the same time. Like, so it'll be interesting. Maybe this is a little bit of a play on Hollywood too. I really don't know much else about the show. I'm excited that Ed Harris is part of it because I think he's been fantastic in what he's been in recently, and
He's
why not
freaking awesome.
keep him working? Yeah. So yes, more Marvel. I'm here for it as long as it fits into what else Kevin Feige's got planned.
Yeah.
All day.
It's a Disney Plus show too. It's a Disney Plus show. Again, they're really pushing that. Ed Harris is an awesome guy. I worked with him on Westworld, and I remember we were working one scene, and I was just sitting next to a rock, and he just sat down, and he lit a cigarette, and he goes, "Tell me about yourself, kid." And he just started smoking his cigarette. And I'm like, "What?" He goes, "You don't just do this. What else do you do when you're not here? Tell me about your life. I got this cigarette. Let's go." And I just had like a 15-minute conversation just shooting the shit with Ed Harris. It was the best thing ever. And then he was like, yeah. And then he's like, I gotta have another one. I'm gonna walk away for a second. And he walked away. And I was like, did that just happen? Great human being. He's awesome. So I'm always excited to see anything he does because he's just like super supportive, friendly, a caring guy. I only saw him lose his shit one time on Westworld, and that's because he was falling off this horse. He was being drugged by a horse with like a noose around his neck for like 14 hours. And after like, he just lost his shit after a while. That happens, but he was great human being. Lexi, do you know about Wonder Man? Are you excited about this? Is this a character you're like, yes, let's bring him on?
You know my love of Wonder Man. Wonder Man. No, I know it's a Jack Kirby character, like I said. Other than that, I'm not super familiar. He's old school. I'm not a Marvel person, like I said. This is more in Sean's wheelhouse.
This is Sean's world right here.
So hey, it's okay. It's okay. There's room. Come on over.
If you're not familiar, then I'm not familiar. So, like, I mean, that should say something about like who the fan base this is for, because I don't know who the fuck it's for. But as you said, I'm a huge Ed Harris fan. Always.
They're reaching in. They're reaching in deeper and deeper, and they're pulling out more stories because they have all this opportunity to expand because they have Disney Plus, and they can actually do stories they weren't able to do in movies and give them fulfilling things, and then bring them into the movies eventually. I think that's the idea. It's like establishing characters for new Avengers.
I like to think that this is what happened to Ed Harris after he found whatever he was looking for in Westworld.
That would be awesome.
And this is like where we are now. This is what happened to him. So.
Westworld.
Including the last season or not including the last season?
I don't know. I wasn't allowed to watch the last season because I didn't get there for the 5 minutes it was on HBO before they yanked it.
Yeah, that's right. They yanked it. I think it's going to be on Tubi now. I think that's where it's going now.
I was pissed about that. Like, they aired
Roku.
that season, and like as soon as it finished airing, they yanked it. And I was like, dude, that's not okay. Like, I was waiting for you to finish airing it so I could just watch it in one go, and then you pulled it. So I didn't get to watch it, like, the final season.
Sucks.
Did it have Aaron Paul in it, the final season?
Yeah, Aaron Paul was back, yeah.
Oh, that season 3 was fucking vile. Like, just unwatchable, quite frankly. So I can't imagine season 4 being any better, but...
They were kind of building to go back to the park for season 5, and I remember I worked on season 1 and 2. I remember season 1 they said they had a 5 season arc. That's what the idea was. So it kind of disappoints me that back then they said that HBO, I mean, never was announced publicly, but back then on set they said they were greenlit for 5 seasons. And so I think with the changing of guard, how expensive again that show was, they were spending, I remember how much, like thousands and thousands of dollars on naked people all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like those people are making about $1,200 a day, you know, just to walk around butt ass naked. I was there. One of my first day there, you know, the glass rooms in Westworld, like where they work on people? People would walk into those every fucking day. Like you hear dong, and they're like, oh, someone hit the glass wall. So one person ran into the glass wall, busted their nose one day, my very first day. So they threw me in to be a scientist. And I was like, what am I doing? And then all of a sudden, they're like, you're going to be fine. I didn't really know what the hell was going on. All of a sudden, Brian's all these naked people. I'm like, I guess I'm in a locker room today. And they were all raving about making their rent that day because they made so much money, you know?
That's insane.
So much money.
Funny.
Yeah.
Season 1, amazing. Season 2, terrible. Season 3, unwatchable. I don't know how that show just like
Season 4 was better.
So hard. I just don't know like what happened because like I'm a huge Westworld fan. Like I love the movie, I love the original story, and like I really wanted that to be so much. And like you said, the effects were incredible. Everything was incredible in season 1. Like I don't know what the fuck happened. Should have stayed in the park. Should have stayed in the fucking park.
They should have stayed in the park. And also they had the whole issue with you know, they were doing scheduling issues. There was a lot of scheduling issues in there. So they would have like 3 units going at the same time for season 2. And it was like, they were all over the place. So I think that they were changing stuff constantly, trying to get it right. So then I don't know what happened in season 3. I didn't work on it because James Marsden wasn't there and I doubled for James Marsden. So once he was gone and he came back briefly at the end, but I was on other projects. But I agree. It just kind of, they had an idea, but I don't know, something happened. And unfortunately, we'll never get to see the ending. That's what sucks about it too, because there's supposed to be one more season.